This is the Artist Entrepreneur Podcast. We are your hosts, Amanda Ritchie, Noah Dock, and me, Kerry Wee. We're three artists brought together by the love of circus and dance. Amanda from the world of Cirque du Soleil as an aerial soloist. Noah, our academic, and me from the commercial dance world. This is one of the greatest jobs in the world, but it comes with uncertainty. Each episode contains insight on how to pursue art-based businesses. We'll have a variety of guests and have lively weekly Discord. Tune in every week to hear our perspectives on the minefield that is the artist's way of life. I am so interested to find out how the last 2 weeks were for you, Amanda.
They were good. They were busy. But I want to hear about your 2 weeks first before we'll get to me.
Okay, so we couldn't get a contractor to take our money for some reason. It's a long story. But basically, we decided to do it ourselves, all the things that we can. Not the electrical, not the plumbing. But so now I am renovating our kitchen, and Asa is doing all the hardwood floors in the upstairs. And there's a lot of construction in San Antonio, so there's a huge nail on my tire, a tire that I just bought. It went flat. It went flat, me taking her to school. I called the school if we were going to be a certain amount late. I can't take her. So we ended up going to the mall. I bought her a bunch of stuff from Claire's, and then I'm just tired. I can't. I mean, I was already, you know when you look at your schedule and you're intimidated by it? It was that type of week, and I'm just at the end. I'm at the end. I need to chill. I need to chill. That's
you
all.
need a vacation.
I'm not going to get one, but I think just going to sleep tonight will help a lot. Yeah, Amanda, please. I saw all the photos and videos from Fire and Flight. Like, you know, a lot of our students are the same people. So I saw so many of their posts. They looked so happy to be sexy and on fire.
It's all about, just, I don't know if being sexy is what it's all about, but just to be like out there doing your thing and yeah, it's always a good time. It's always so much. It's always a lot, but it's always so fun and so worth it, And so, yeah, I love when I get to go. And the fact that we do it twice a year is awesome. We already have people who put deposits in for next March. In October, we have, I think, 4 spots left for October.
Wow. Good for you guys.
Yeah. And we have 1, 2, I think 3, 4 deposits in for March 2026. So,
Amanda, can you tell the audience what Fire and Flyer, like, it's a couple days, but what are you doing during those days? Because I actually don't even know the answer to this.
Yeah, no, totally. So it's a 2.5 day retreat out in 29 Palms, out in the desert. And it consists of aerial classes and fire classes separate from each other. So on the aerial side, we call it Aerial Island. I have a few rigs set up, and we have like a big shade structure, but we offer silks, hoop, spiral, chains. What else is there? Square, many other things. And we have rotations throughout the day. And on the fire side, they offer fire eating, fire breathing, fire fans, fire sword, rope dart, like all these weird fire things. And then we have photo shoots available. You can get photo shoots with fire wings and a fire bath. You can be set on fire in an aerial, apparatus, whether that be chains, lyra, a square. We set the spiral on fire this time around. So this fire,
wow.
we wrapped the whole bottom half with Kevlar, and we made it rain essentially. Which was really fun. And so at the end, we have performances for people who want to showcase either what they learned, what they've already been working on, what they're workshopping, several photo shoots, like I said, and everybody gets a chance to experience butane, the butane bubbles. And so they get footage of all of their burns, anything that they do on fire. They always get a slow motion video of that, whatever burn. Aerial footage if they're doing performances. So they get a lot. It's a really, really, really cool 2.5 days.
And for my curiosity, how much is the early bird rate? Like if somebody wanted to get into October right now, if there's any space available?
There's 4 spaces Well, I'm so bad. I'd have to go look at it. It's the website is fireandflight.com. So
Okay.
have a look there for audience members who are listening who want to know, because I don't want to say the wrong price and then have it come back and be like, well, I heard on this that this was this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So have a look at whoever's interested, fireandflight.com.
And then we haven't debriefed since Viva Fest. How was it?
Viva Fest was great. Viva Fest was so fast. I essentially I taught 6 workshops, and then I judged for 7 hours, 5 hours, 5 to 7 hours, 6 hours. I don't know, something like that. And then I turned around as soon as I was done teaching my last workshop on Sunday. I had booked it back to LA to teach my 6-hour day in Huntington on Monday. So that kind of happened really fast. But Viva is always really fun for me because it's like my one time a year that I get to reunite with all of my Vegas people. It just gives me that reason to be there. So I get to see faces that I don't get to see, all the time. And so I saw a face that I was so happy to see. I hadn't seen him in like maybe over a decade. So it was really cool to see that one specific human. So it's always really fun for me to go.
I love it.
Yeah.
Noah, how's the Red Flags alpha testing going?
I want to hear about that.
Red Flags, we are done with our first round of testing. We fixed all the bugs, and the app is market ready for a first push. So we're going to move from development to support next week to be able to start running this thing. And now we just have to get our go-to-market plan moving and the finances for that underway. And
that's exciting. How do you feel? Do you feel super accomplished?
No, not at all. But that's to be expected.
You feel a little accomplished?
Not really, but that's okay. That's okay. That's just where we're at.
Okay, that's awesome. That's a huge step. That's a huge push forward.
Noah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
What is the financial investment that you have to put in at this point from having the app done to like, is it like a hosting thing? Because like, like in a podcast, it goes out via a hosting platform to go to everybody's phone. So it lands on everybody's phone. Is it the same for the app?
Eventually, like once you reach a certain amount of users, yes, that you need to, pay a certain amount in storage for data and things like that. And we do pay for that now, but it's a very low fee from different platforms. Like some people use AWS, some people use Oracle. So, once you have millions and millions of users, it gets more and more expensive, obviously. But where we're at, it's fairly negligible in terms of pricing. The way the platforms make their money, so like what you're talking about with podcasts, where like you pay some sort of subscription fee or some sort of fee in order to have the podcast on different platforms, right?
Well, and it's pretty cheap, right? Because unless you're big, it's like $9 a month type of situation. You can have a couple shows on one hosting platform. Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, so the way that apps work, or at least Red Flags will work, is that because it is a paid for subscription by the user, the platform, meaning Apple or Android, will take a percentage of the fee. So they take a percentage of whatever the cost of the product is. And yeah, so that's how the sort of hosting platform side of it goes. They take a percentage, storage and sort of other platforms or other processes, like our messaging works through a different application. We pay for that separately. Yeah. So that's sort of how that works.
Okay, awesome. And how about all the other million balls that you have in the air? How are those balls going?
They're going. I really need to get some more social media clients, or something like that. I'm sort of looking for a job in a way. I I either need to find more social media clients for my daily life job, or pick something else up, like some sort of cocktail thing or bar thing, or maybe an entertainment job or something like that. So there's a funny part about like doing all this entrepreneurial work, but at the same time I'm now like applying for other jobs, or I'm looking for clients in other jobs. So because social media management is something that people do look for, one of the ways that I find clients is I go on LinkedIn, I go on Indeed, I go on ZipRecruiter, I go on Craigslist, jobs, things like that. And I look for job postings for social media managers, and I apply to them, or I write them an email and I say, hey, I do this, but I also do this with my own company. So, where if you're looking to just hire somebody to have in your office, that's great, totally cool. But if you're open to another option, or if you're looking for a company that can sort of help you from the outside in, I offer that and see if I can find clients that way. And everybody has a different sort of hiring process, or finding a company like me, and so it's a different test every day.
I find it so interesting because I've struggled the last 7 years with my business, is that you're building this thing, but then you don't have cash flow necessarily while you're building it.
That's the hardest.
Because like you have money, but it's in things.
Yeah.
It's invested.
Yeah.
So you're like,
you still need to.
Yeah.
And the way I'm sort of looking at it is like red flags is the place where my money is, but I also need a day job. And my day job, one of those options is also an entrepreneurial venture that is my own thing. But I don't have capital in it. I just have my expertise and my time in it. But yeah, it's funny. I've had this conversation with a few people recently, with the idea of, what are you investing in? What are you spending your time, or what are you spending your money to move forward on, whether it's real estate, whether it's a business, whether it's an idea, something like that. And then what's your day job that's going to help you to fund that investment? So what are you using more of your time or your expertise on in order to, fund that investment, but also fund your life, to make sure that you have a roof over your head and food on the table, and in my case, my dog happy. It just depends on who you are. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, you just hit the head on like the hardest nail in our lives.
Yeah.
Like, to build the way we want to build and have this future goal, and us putting one foot in front of the other towards that goal. And I think that because the social media presence, because of all the things, I have this feeling that some people might think that you just have money all the time. You know what I'm saying? That you're doing good because your name is coming up and your videos are coming up, and you feel like if we're doing the marketing well, then we feel like really like abundance. There's an abundance around it. But you could very well be like really freaking broke at the same time.
Yeah.
We're all shaking our heads.
Yeah.
Well, necessarily
For sure.
equate to money and monetary abundance. Necessary.
I was just thinking about that today, because I just spent a whole crap load of money today because I brought Bean to get a treat because my tire broke. And then because we were out, I bought lunch, and then, my gas tank was so empty. I was like, I can't afford this.
Yeah.
all this happened because my tire burst.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have done all that stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm at like a $300 deficit today because of one thing. My budget doesn't have that space for it right now.
Yeah, same.
Because we're renovating a house.
What are updates on that? So Asa's doing the kitchen himself.
Okay, yeah. So apparently, I felt like I was unhinged the way we were getting ghosted by contractors.
Oh no.
That's how I felt. Like, I don't like my friends who are dating are getting ghosted all the time. Like, we would have a meeting with a contractor, 2-hour meeting. They're doing all the things, and then crickets. No quote.
What?
And I'm like, the only reason that we came up with, because I'm like, well, why do the meeting, right? If you're just not going to do the quote. And Asa was talking to some of his friends, and they think that it's because contractors take the quote and they pick and choose the biggest ones because spring is the high season. So we might hear back from these people in the summer, or I'm sorry, in the fall when they go slow. But how does one run a business like that? Because I'm like, peace the fuck out, bro. Like, I'm not going to hire you if you ghosted me. Like, if you said, I can't do this job right now, thanks for whatever, who cares? But like the ghosting
Sure.
in a business?
Yeah, that's weird.
I think so too.
That's weird.
So
I just don't think you gain any from a business perspective. You don't gain anything from ghosting.
No,
but you gain
you just can't. Like it, right? Even if you say like you would prefer, just like dating, I guess. You would prefer somebody to be like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah,
right
like
now.
My schedule doesn't have time for your small project.
Yeah.
Fine.
We can't do it. But if you're still looking for help later, we're happy to do it. Or, which I think is a way more useful tool is let me direct you to somebody who might be able to help.
Yeah, I don't get it. I thought it was Delaware because that's where we have our other house where we've had a lot of trouble with contractors. But it's just that field seems to attract a very interesting type of person who's not a very good business person. I have never come across such effed up business people as the ones in that space of renovation, house building, and all that stuff. So we said, fuck it. Universe is telling us to do it ourselves. So except for plumbing and electric, which we have no skill set towards, I started painting my cabinets already. By the way, house renovation projects, painting, sweeping, mopping, use the same hand muscles as silks. So I'm so overtrained. I've been Theragunning my the palms of my hand in my car every time I'm in my car because I'm like completely these muscles are done.
That's funny.
Asa figured out how.
That's really funny.
And you know what else uses the same muscles? And no, I'm not going X-rated. Coloring books with my kid.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm like coloring. I'm using these fine muscles, like these small muscles, and it's the same muscles. And so I can't like sit and color with her for an hour because I'm like overusing the same muscles that I use for work. Yeah. Did you guys think I was going to go the other direction with that? I don't know, but
that's always there.
So, and she comes in again. Look at her in her little gymnastics sparkle outfit. So, and then Asa, YouTube University, like how to pull up the carpets, take off the trim, and we're doing the hardwood floors ourselves. So it will be a lot cheaper. But I think I got my ass handed to me this week because I added on like driving to the house, painting on a couple hours that I had, coming back to the house that we're living in, cleaning this house, cooking dinner, blah, start the next day. So, yeah, but I'm good. It's just like, I'm tired, you guys.
Yeah, I get it.
Amanda, I have a question. Yeah. Have you had a moment to feel what it's like to have your schedule changed? Because it has been a week now. Or is it not enough time yet?
So after Fire and Flight, I spent 3 days out in the desert just to spend, and which I never ever did before because I would always have to drive back. Say we finished like Saturday at or Sunday morning at 1 a.m. I would be on the road enough time to sleep and then teach at 4 p.m. on Sundays. So I would never stay. I would always have to like book it and do things, right? So
yeah,
I did take a Monday off, but I only had that one day to take off instead of 3 days to take off.
Yes.
So it's been really lovely. And then being here now in this moment that we are, I don't work tonight. And so I've been doing other things, like
Oh,
other
yes.
human
What are you
things.
doing? The world is your oyster. Like, what are you doing with yourself?
Right. But this is the first day that I've kind of actually been in my reality of not having anything to do today. So it'll get a little bit more.
And you're still in the
You're still
car.
I'm still in my car.
Even though you have nothing to do today, you still found your way into the car.
Today. It's just, it's my brand now, guys. It's my brand. It's hilarious. Um, yeah, no, like I went on a date and like the Huntington Garden thing, which was really, really wonderful. I did some other little things that I haven't been able to do in a very long time. I'm looking at different things. I'm working and training more for me. Like I'm gonna join a 2-week free class pass situation and take some like Pilates classes and dance classes around, and get myself moving that way. That's the goal. Yeah.
Nice.
So right now it's good. Talk to me next week when I'm like, oh my God, I'm pulling my hair out of my head and I need something to do with my time.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to be like, oh, I can take a ballet class. I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been, like I said, today's the first day because I came back from the desert and I went straight to work, but I had 3 days in the desert of nothing. Right. So,
yeah.
So, like I came back a little bit refreshed. I could have still used like a couple of days of nothing, I think. But that's okay. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Do you guys have any pressing questions on your mind?
I won't this week, but in the next coming weeks, I will. And I won't elaborate on that further, but I will have some things coming up to talk about.
I mean, I think we hit on it already a little bit, but I think the conversation
being broke as hell when you're trying to run your business.
being broke as hell when you're trying to run your business is it's an interesting one, but also like, how do you? I think it's come down to balance. So much of what I've been thinking about over the last month is balance, and I can say definitively to you guys and all of our viewers, I'm so far from it. But I think that, it's such a constant theme in, I think, all of our lives, and the conversation of being broke and trying to run your business is part of that balance. And the conversations that, like I said, I've been having recently are, what is it that you're investing in, and then what's your day job? And I'm going to use so a friend of mine who is much older than I am, who has a successful real estate business, and we had this conversation a few weeks ago about, he worked in a shop and he did what he needed to do to make whatever money he needed to take advantage of whatever opportunity came his way. Maybe that was an investment. Maybe that was buying a piece of real estate. Maybe that was being able to buy into a business that he was working for, and then he could be a partial owner. And we had this conversation about that. Not that there's a safety net, but that your day job is what allows you for a certain time to exist while working towards something greater, whether that's an entrepreneurial dream, a personal dream, or whatever it might be. And that balance is not necessarily, I have to go do this thing for me. or I have to go build this business right now, or I have to find how I can build this business right now, but also have a social life and go on dates and be a person and, enjoy myself. But how do you find balance between your day job and your dreams and whatever you're working on in that way, as opposed to your personal, your business, but your business and your business?
Yeah.
Amanda, I feel like you and I might be in a kind of the same boat, because our bread and butter is teaching aerial.
Yeah.
Like, this has been happening this week with this studio that I'm at, because it's more of a startup-y versus like the loft, like, because it's only been alive for 2 years. They're building the community. So we're really lenient on, like, if somebody cancels an hour before type of thing. So the way that the structure of how they pay. So I'll go in and, like, I'll leave my house and I'll be paid a certain amount. And by the time I get there, there's going to be cancellations and I won't be making the same amount. And it's not even close to what I'd like to make. But at the bottom line, it's like, it's an investment because I'm building a community, because I'm 8 months in. I'm 8 months in and it's going really well. But it's like, the check at the end of the month is, like, sometimes really good and sometimes not. But I'm grateful that no matter what, I'm going in and I'm training with them. So,
the days are going too fast.
What happened? The days are going too fast. She's so wise, you guys. She goes, the days are going too fast. Yes, you're going up too fast.
Bean. I agree.
Yeah. So when it comes to, like, my passion being my job, like, it is the same as the dream. But the ways that I'm kind of like this month, kind of like, oh man, I have software that I pay for no matter what, so that, like, all the people that are buying my courses whenever they decide to across the world, they have this active platform of, like, hundreds of videos that I've produced. But that takes, like, there's a monthly fee to everything that I have, my email lists, all the things except for social media, which is free. But on the months that I don't sell a random course here and there, those things that I'm paying for are now coming out of my income, not out of a course that I've sold. Like, it's not paying for itself. And so it's been a month like that, where, like, we just had a show at my studio. So, like, it can either go up with attendance or go down, because some of those performees are like, oh, I'm going to take a 2-week break off at class because I'm freaking tired. So it kind of got slow at the studio. Online, it wasn't popping. But I also know that, like, me posting a lot and going full force, it doesn't necessarily correlate with, like, me getting money. Like, that happens whenever it happens, and I kind of have to absorb the months where it's not like that, so that, it's the highs and the lows. So I'm definitely feeling it right now. 2 months ago, I was like, oh, we can buy a house. Like, I felt so confident. And of course I still feel confident, but, like, I just had a lot of extra padding, and not right now. And I'm like, oh my God. So, like, I wonder when I'm not going to ever have to feel this way again. Like, when you're past a certain point, like, where your needs are being met and then everything's extra, I want that. I really want that. And it's not here yet.
Yeah.
I love the word that you used, padding. I think padding is such a good word for what you were talking about. And the thought that I had for you is, okay, so you said that teaching is your baseline. Teaching is your day job, right? Is where that comes from. I think the irony, or an interesting way of looking at how time changes things, and how those moments of more money, of, oh, we could totally do this, to, oh shit, what's happening? That ebb and flow. You've embarked on this real estate venture, and you're starting to collect real estate, and there will eventually be money that's coming in from that side. But right now, your baseline is teaching, and the real estate venture is the investment. But there is a world in which those switch,
Yeah.
in which your real estate becomes your baseline, knowing, oh yes, I collect monthly rent. And it doesn't matter if, I have 3 less students in this class or 4 less students in this class, because my
Adding.
my buffer has been, my
It's
padding
coming from somewhere
has
else.
been met.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mommy.
Yeah. It's just, you guys, it's been a financially painful, very painful 5 years. It's like you make sacrifices and they're totally worth it 10 years down the road. But like I look back at our last 5 years, we made a huge move to put ourselves in a place where to flip this whole diagram where it's working for us and we're not just
Right.
like drowning under it. And it's getting there, but it's like, so right now, and it's only 4 months, we are paying for 3 houses right now. We're paying for the house that we live in.
Yeah.
We're paying for the house we bought. And then the house that we have tenants in has rent coming in. So our finances will go down to less than 1 mortgage in 6 months. Because the mortgage in Delaware is way less than what the renters are renting it for, because that's the market rate. And then the house we're living in goes away. And so the house in Delaware will partially pay for our mortgage here. And our mortgage here isn't going to be that expensive. It is the right move. We are, I complain about Asa. I complain about my partner all the time because of like partnery things, but like we are on the same page. Like it's worth it. Like not buying clothes for like 5 years, not spending, not going on vacation, not doing any of those things. It's worth it, but it's painful. It's just like, oh my God, when is this going to end? It's going to end hopefully this year.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
tail end of that period.
And I love the concept of the day job becomes the dream and the dream becomes the day job, or vice versa. Like the way that flips, or the way that you engage with that as you build the dream, as you go through these 5 years, as you go through these 6 years, like that's, I feel like I'm staring down the barrel of that 6 years or that 5 years or that 10 years.
Like you're at the beginning of it because you're investing in, because your app, and it will flip on you hopefully, but man, you're at the beginning of it.
Well, I'm looking at it for the app, for real estate, for even for my social media business. Like there's a lot of things that I see in probably the same way that you saw them years and years ago, of like, okay, what is the best move right now? And I know, Amanda, you're thinking similarly.
Totally. Yes. Oh, yes. I had thoughts, but they've left me for some reason. So keep talking. No, it'll come back to me.
Well, Amanda, I think we all in our own way got to a point where we're like, okay, it's time to like do this. Like what moves are you making? Like, I think we're watching you do it, but like from your perspective, what are the moves that you're making right now for the future?
Well, I think for me, like, because my schedule was so heavy, like that, going back to in the business and on the business, right? My schedule was so just me run, go, 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 go all the time. Not sustainable. It just isn't. And so I've hit that. Like even though I'm still new into this new schedule shift, I now feel like I have a clearer head. I have clarity on where I want, what I need as a human, as a business person, as an aerial instructor, as all the things. Because I have actually time now to focus in and to decompress and to just be, without the nagging, oh, I have to go teach in 2 hours. You know what I mean? And so having that kind of slowed down is giving me the push that I needed to move forward so I can grow. And in that growth and the steps that I'm taking, I will elaborate on all of what I'm going for in future episodes. I can't give anything right now. But steps are happening. Things are turning and shifting in a way that I am very surprised by, actually, in a good way. But that being said, where you're at, Kerry, right now is where I foresee myself to be this year, next year as well. In the sense of a very painful transition of I'm going to be spending all of the things.
Yeah.
On that return is going to take a while. Same place that you are at right now, Noah. So you're like staring down the barrel of it. I'm like seeing the barrel. I'm window shopping the barrel. I haven't approached the barrel yet, you know?
I don't know. I would make the argument that you're staring down the barrel and I'm actually window shopping the barrel. and Kerry has already fired the shots.
Coming out the other end of the barrel.
I mean,
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I hope. It's like when they say that a business takes 10 years, like if you really want to build a brand in a business, it takes about 10 years. I didn't want that to be true, but I feel like it's true.
But you know what? I think that for me anyway, my brand is as grounded in flight as me as a teacher. It did take about that long. It took about 10 years of teaching every single, of course, not every single day, but almost for 10.
Yeah, but consistency so that people are like, they recognize the brand,
Yeah.
they have the idea in their mind, and then the call to action to actually take a class from you or to reach out or to get one of your products.
Yeah.
I mean, that is it's because you're building trust. You're building public trust with what you do, and it takes a long time. The studio that I'm working for, they've been building public trust for a while, but like San Antonio is not LA, so it's like we actually have to like grow a population of people who are interested in aerial.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people don't even know about it. Like, oh my God, that seems so wild and, like not something I would necessarily do. But then you have to convince people. And, so the studio is that same thing. It's like, that's going to be a 10-year project, whether or not I'm involved that long or not. But I would like to be involved for as long as I'm here in San Antonio. It's such that brand building process. And then it took me so long at the beginning, because at the beginning when I was creating my courses, you're still broke. So I'm just like, I need to make money doing what I'm doing, but I'm like, I can't expect this to spit out money quickly. It's not going to be quick.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm not making money, but I still have to keep doing this. I still have to go along the course.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. A little side tangent. So I finished my taxes this year, and apparently I had too many W-2s on my side. I made too much money and I had very little taxes taken out on my W-2s. My 1099s were fine. So I ended up owing so much money this year. So it's like, you still need the day-to-day business, but don't make too much because it'll eat you.
But wait, are you an LLC or a corp?
I am an LLC. I was an S corp. I dismantled grounded S corp December 2024. I reopened it as an LLC in January 2025.
Okay, so did it help to be a corporation? No, because those were W-2s.
This was W-2. This had nothing to.
Yeah.
Business, I was fine. It was great. My W-2s fucked me.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, make money, you have to, but not too much.
No, but it's hard because as a business, like as the brand, as the business owner, the person who's putting out the videos, I want the feeling of abundance to be projected, and I want the feeling of abundance to be living inside of me. I want all of that to be abundance. But it's contradictory because you're just like, my bank account's not abundant right now, necessarily.
I have to go.
Oh yeah.
But what I'm going to leave you with is that one of my father's favorite sayings is, "You want to pay $1 million in taxes." That's one of my father's favorite sayings to me growing up. He was like, "You want to pay $1 million
Because that means you made that much money.
That's the goal, right? Like that's what you want." And I feel that tax problem. But yes, I have to go.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Bean, say goodbye to Noah. Say bye. He's got to go.
Leaving.
Bye.
Bye.
Say bye.
Bye, Noah.
I know.
Bye, Bean.
Bye.
The hair.
I know.
Style.
Bye. Amanda, so let's close this one out. So do you feel like
Bye.
I mean, maybe I should use this moment to just be appreciative that I'm not at the beginning of my 5-year journey anymore.
That's a really good perspective. That's a really good,
Yeah.
angle to see it from, for sure. But also,
Yeah. Like
of all the things to come, like as sticky and as horrible as these last 5 years, like just wait until that payoff happens, and then you can
I know.
breathe. Like all of this buildup for like that end result is going to be that much sweeter.
I always think about the idea of grandparents because they have all this time now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about me as not even a young person, but like my entire life up until now. You're trying to do all the things, and it's so hard to enjoy all the things while you're doing all the things. Like the last 5 years have been financially very, very tight for us, but it's Bean's 5 years of life, which are arguably the best years of my life.
Yeah. It's like priorities. What's actually important,
Yeah. So I don't actually like it's been financially tight, but then it's like I don't want it to go by that fast because that means, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at this little queen.
I know, the cutest.
She is.
And if you could go back and if you could go back and change anything, but also if you did change that threatens your future, like your present reality,
yeah.
go back and change anything?
Well, the thing is that I don't think we could because then without changing the goals.
Right.
And the goals are correct.
Yeah.
They're the goals are what they should be.
Right.
So we're just taking the steps that we need to take to get to those goals. So in that way, no, I wouldn't go back and change anything because all of the sacrifices and the hardness of it is, I can't change the goal. I wouldn't change the goal if it's even easier now than it was. It was just the hardest that last couple years in LA. That was just
The hardest.
Now that I look back at it. I mean, just not even having even just living in this rental house.
Yeah.
It feels like, to be honest, it feels like limbo because I don't want to live here anymore. I want to live in the house that we actually are going to live in. But in all honesty, it's a very comfortable limbo.
Yeah.
It's a comfortable house.
Yeah.
So it's not like we all know what it's like to live in some type of limbo. Like you don't know where you're going to live in a couple years or you're moving. You're always we've been moving for 2 years, it feels like.
Yeah.
But it's a privileged limbo.
Yeah.
Because we all know what it's like to really not have any money versus have your money locked up
Right.
in things.
Like you're not hurting, you're not starving, you're not homeless, you're not
yes.
like you said, privileged. It's limbo, but
Yes.
you're okay. Your family's okay. You have a roof over your head. Your basic needs are being met. Like you're surviving when the ideal is to thrive instead of survive. But the thriving is happening. It's coming.
Yeah, and your thriving is coming too. I mean, I'm really glad for you because even just that one weekend in LA just reminded me because we kind of slipped back into kind of that hustle that we were doing in LA. Because back when we lived in LA, Asa worked 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Like you. Humans can't do that over the long term.
Yeah.
And so just not having any time to really work on on the business at all. That's really hard when you're running a business.
Yeah. Yeah. And to pick and choose, and this is also a luxury. This is very privileged but I also needed to pick and choose where and how I spent my energy.
Yeah.
Because that I don't have limited, I have limited reserves of that. That doesn't come just free flowing. I'm
Yes.
one of those people that I'm a true introvert in that sense, where I recharge alone and in the comfort of my own. And when I don't get that, I don't function as a human. And so not having that, like that frantic energy all the time of, oh, I'm just in the middle of all of this all of the time. Like I was depleting and depleting and depleting and depleting, and then I had nothing, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you can't function like that. I was also I've decided to slowly work on some of these products that I want to put on my website.
Yeah.
One of them is the teacher training, the 200-hour teacher training.
Oh.
And I had hybrided done. I had launched it already 2 years ago and did one group of people. And one of those people is going through this process of the private training for teacher training. Like I'm modeling it off of how I'm working with her.
that's awesome.
And so I'm creating the anatomy mini course for that course.
Got it.
Because I want it to be very tailored to how we would use it in the classroom. Not just, of course, you have to memorize the muscles at a certain point. Like I want people to understand where the muscles are, but it's like, how are we using them? How are we how are we stretching them? Like, because students are going to ask, well, like I want to get a flatter split. You have to know a little bit.
100%.
So I'm kind of creating this mini course and like curating videos that we can find on YouTube of other professionals talking about these muscles and this and that, because I am not a physical therapist.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm like curating what I would like to be a mini course for anatomy. So I was looking at a lot of the brands like / people that I really respect and want to pull videos from their YouTube channels to curate part of my mini course. And a lot of these people that I know and respect, I'm like, oh man, your YouTube channel is not fleshed out, and it should be.
Interesting.
And then I was like, oh God, that means the same for me.
Like, oh no.
That means somebody finds me on Instagram and then wants to look at tutorials on YouTube and goes to YouTube and realizes that I have a very limited amount of videos. And then hangs their face like I just did on some of these curators, on some of these like people that are very good at what they do, and they just like don't have it fleshed out because maybe they're fleshed out on Instagram or their website. Stop. Nope, not that bean. So again, my list is like, it's like down on the bottom of the list. Okay, I want to flesh out this part of my business.
Yeah.
So that's why it takes so long.
Yeah.
Unless you have a whole team and a lot of funds coming in at the very beginning. I don't know. But what do you think? Do you stress out about that stuff? I'm not stressed, but I'm like, oh shit. If I am a consumer and wanting that from somebody else who I want to follow, then it is the same if I turn it back around on me.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that, and yeah, for sure. I don't know for me if I would be consuming on multiple platforms. Like, so if I found somebody, say like I'm a new silk artist, I'm new to it, and I found your videos and I loved it, I would just stalk you incessantly on Instagram and then, get what I could. And if I was really obsessed, I might look for YouTube, like the YouTube tutorials, and if I couldn't find it, then I would try to your website. Whatever was on wherever I first found you, whatever available in terms of a resource, I would click it. So if your Instagram has, and that's where I found you, if your Instagram has YouTube as a resource and I go to your YouTube and it's not fleshed out and it's not all the things that you're saying, then I would be like, oh man. But if that's not something that you're advertising as a resource, I don't think I would, have too much judgment on if it was fleshed out or not.
I just know that YouTube is one of the most growing platforms out of all of them.
It is, and I think it's really smart to have it fleshed out there. However, but if I found you on there, then if it's not fleshed out, I probably wouldn't follow you.
Right.
But if I found you on TikTok and in your TikTok was like, here are a full-length video on YouTube, and if I go to your YouTube, then it's nothing, then I'd be like, oh, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. For example, Fit and Betty, Christina Kaya, who I'm a huge fan of. So I went to her YouTube, and she has it fleshed out to a certain degree. But as a consumer, I was like, I want more.
Yeah.
Christina, I want to be like Christina. I'm going to call Christina. I want more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it made me feel as a consumer.
Are you paying? Because I know that YouTube, you get paid for the I don't really know how the monetization works, but it's like, I'm assuming per view and per like and per subscribe.
After a certain amount of viewing hours of people looking at your stuff, it monetizes. This is what I learned recently. So, I'm saying this because I feel like eventually YouTube's a place I need to be a lot.
Yeah.
For the money, like to monetize. And honestly, with podcasts, the same thing. I just can't figure out how to do that when I'm not recording with my co-hosts in a physical space where it's really nice to, people don't want to see like awkward Zoom videos. They want to see it like TV-esque, a podcast being produced. Yes. So, I mean, you're talking about Spotify studios and like iHeartRadio studios. That's the thing, So it's something that I have in my mind because I listen to a lot of business podcasts, and that's where people are saying, YouTube is just taking over in that way. So all this in my mind. Mind you, there's nothing terrible about always having ideas of what I want to do more. I don't think it's terrible that I come up with different ideas of a million things I can do every single day. I don't think that's a bad thing.
No.
But it does make me like,
It gives you a little anxiety.
A little bit. I'm just like, oh my God, all the things I have yet to do in my life,
But I mean, you're never ever going to feel like,
you're right.
It's always going to feel that way. There's always going to be something at any point in time. Like, there's always going to be a list of things. And when you check off 10 things, 10 more things are going to come up,
Yeah, because the more you grow, the more you want to do more.
Yeah.
The more you want to like get more your products, out to your consumers. And yeah, you just want to do more. I mean, I guess that's why I'm doing the right thing, because that's the direction I want to go in. So yeah. I think I need to get comfortable with just having this feeling, because it's going to be all the time.
All the time. Yeah. But that's your growth mindset. That's your abundance kicking in.
Yeah.
And like, if your whole being is consumed by that energy, by that abundance, everything will follow suit, including your bank account. It just takes a moment. It just takes time.
Yeah, it just takes time. And in a week, I'll like randomly sell a course. I'll be like, you guys, I'm rich.
100%. Like somebody once told me, like, being an entrepreneur is like riding seriously like the biggest roller coaster in the world. You're high, you get really high highs and really low lows. Like, it's just chaos. Yeah.
Amanda, just to put a button on the end of this. So I've been having people DM me about how much they're enjoying our podcast.
It's exciting. I've also had some people message me about how they're watching it and listening, or not watching, but listening, which is so nice. It's so nice.
I'm convinced that it's because of the magic that we felt when we like got together the first time, the three of us. We have a magic. It's just fun to listen to, because I listen to a lot of podcasts too. And sometimes, even if the information's great and like I'm learning a lot, if I'm not like engaged with the people, and even if they have guests, sometimes I'm like, I don't care about the guests. I want to have a familiarity. Like, I want the people, I'm like connecting with these people I've never met, but in my car, and I want to hear the same voices every week.
Yeah. Totally.
Like cracking up and making fun and like, so I believe that's why I want to do it. That's why I wanted you guys to do it in the first place, because I'm like, we've got some magic that we should share. But yeah, that's exciting that people actually care to listen.
I agree. And the fact that they care to listen is insanely lovely and wonderful and just wild, but awesome. But we do make a good team, the three of us.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a really cool mix, and like listeners are wonderful. But the fact that I just get to sit and like talk to you guys every week is icing on the cake. It's the best.
Yeah, and I'll stand by this for our whole lives, Amanda. But we came up with this idea, but Noah is the ringer. He really is.
I know.
He's the
That's
one.
okay.
He's the one.
Did we tell him this? You know he's not going to listen.
No, he's not listening. He records it and then he's off. He's gone.
Got too much to do.
Peace out. Yeah.
We'll let that be our secret.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find Amanda Ritchie at Grounded in Flight on Instagram and add Noah Doc on Instagram as well as a Red Flags app. And me, Kerry Wee, you can find at wrapyourheadaroundsilks.com. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. We have so much more coming at you, including guests that are in this art world that are blazing their way through new businesses and, just more banter from us. Thank you for listening. This is The Artist Entrepreneur.